Yep. Yeah, man. That's how wicked the Step Families are. They like the moment I bought my laptop, and I started writing my book last year. The Step Families hacked my laptop and they fucking sabotaged my laptop. Yeah, that's how wicked they are. Because they know that they know my book Last Hope for Zanus is the best book ever written. They know it's a book world is. They know it's the last hope for me when I became queen. Because they completely lock out. So even after completely locking all the doors on me, they 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 still they still hack my laptop and sabotage my laptop. Yeah, because they don't want me being my wife. They don't want me and her being king and queen. Yeah, fucking right, man. You know we're God too, man. So reprobate you are, man. It's like we created the universe. You didn't create this universe, and you have the guts to say that you have the guts to lock the doors on us. It's like we're God, and yet you choose to be reprobate and lock all the doors on me. I don't want Ivan VJ. I don't want Ivan VJ touching my money and all stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's money that we fucking create. We created this universe. You didn't create this universe, man. We created the universe. Hence, we deserve to be the true kings and queens, not you, man. Oh, man, fucking reprobate, right? So the step families, hence why the step families purposely hacked. Yes, they hacked my laptop. That's how wicked they are, which is illegal. Hacking someone's laptop is fucking illegal, man. And yet you fucking hack my laptop. Like, yeah, they're the gatekeepers, but to hack someone's laptop is fucking illegal. And yet they fucking hack my laptop. They hacked my laptop and they fucking sabotage my laptop to make sure what? To make sure to delay the process of me announcing my phases. Because they knew if we don't sabotage Ivan's laptop, Ivan will finish his book this year. Let's delay the process. I'm like, guys, even if you sabotage my laptop, when I get my laptop back, I'll be done my book in 2 months. Because in other words, because they sabotaged my laptop and to supposedly delay the process, now I'm more determined than ever to finish my book as quick as possible. I'm gonna grind. I'll finish my book. They know because I finished my Young Tactius and Rough Draft. Now everything else is more straightforward. I can finish all my phases in 2 months. Yeah, right. So hence why it's step families purposely hack. That's how wicked they really are, and sabotage my laptop because they knew Ivan O'Meara would have finished his book by now. They knew Ivan would have finished announcing all his phases of his fantasy novel this year. My plan was to announce all the phases this year, obviously. Hence why they went to desperate measures. They're desperate, obviously. They went to desperate measures and threw him in a mental institution. So earlier this year, the moment I remember when I said in my Planning Scotches video, and my earlier videos I deleted, that once I made the announcements, more than Steph Thomas Shoe Cards will show. Well, the moment I announced my rough draft, a month later, I got threatened with a court order, and I got the cops came in. The cops came in. They arrested me naked when I was naked. They arrested me when I was naked, man. They while I was in the shower, they came in and arrested me. Obviously, they pepper sprayed me and arrested me, and they threw me in a mental institution for 1 month. That's how wicked my stepfamily is. Yeah, and then after doing that, I come home. I finish Young Tactius. I make that announcement, and the moment after that, they hack my laptop and then they salvage my laptop. Yeah, that's how wicked they are, man. As I announce more phases, more their true colors are gonna show. They're so desperate. The Steph Adams are so desperate. They're willing to do anything just to prevent me from finishing this novel because they know this novel is the last hope for me and my wife, man. They don't want me and her being king. Yeah, there you go. Because they're fucking desperate, man. Well, I mean desperate. I mean desperate. Like you're willing to throw me into mental institution, and after throwing me into mental institution, you hack my laptop, you sabotage my laptop with a black screen. You know what I'm saying? It just shows how desperate they really are. They're panicking, yeah, because they know that once I finish my book, they know I'm gonna find out how rich they really are, and they know, oh my god, once Ian finds out how rich we are, and he finds out he has to die with his wife, he's peacing out, yeah. Once he's killing you and including his wife, they're both piecing out. Yeah, yeah. So they knew Ivan O'Meara would have finished his book by now. they knew Ivan would have finished announcing all his phases of his fantasy novel this year. I would have finished my fantasy novel this year. Hence why they went to desperate measures and threw him in a mental institution for 1 month, and then sabotaged his laptop afterwards because they know my book Class Over Xanax is the last hope for me and my wife to be king and queen. They don't want me and VJ to be king and queen, even though they know full well that we created the universe. They did not. Me and Victoria Justice, we created the fucking universe. Hence, we deserve to be king and queen, but the stepfathers are too blind to see it, and they're fucking reprobate. Yeah, there you go. Stepfamilies know full well that me and my wife are God, and yet they deny that. Like they act like we're not even God. There's a thing in the Bible called the spirit of Antichrist. What is this? Who is the liar? Who has the spirit of Antichrist? He that denies that Christ come in the flesh. That is the spirit of Antichrist. Well, the symbolism of that is obviously a symbolism of the world. Symbolism of the stepfamily is the world. The world knows I'm God, and yet they act like I'm not even God. They act like I'm some normal human being. Protects their land because what? They have the Antichrist spirit. Yeah, I told you. I'm gonna make a video called Biblical Symbolism. I'm gonna talk about the symbolism in the Bible. The spirit of Antichrist that is in the world. Well, Satan hates God. The stepfamilies that know that I'm God, and yet they deny that I'm God. They act like I'm not God when they know I'm God. Because they have the spirit of Antichrist. Yeah. The spirit that denies that Jesus Christ come in the flesh, that is the spirit of Antichrist, yeah. And you see it in the world. You see it with my stepfamily, yeah. Right, let's act like Ivan's not God. Let's act like Ivan's some normal guy, and you know I'm God because you have the Antichrist spirit, yeah. The anti-Ivan spirit, right? The anti-Ivan spirit, yeah. I'm gonna make a video called Biblical System. I'm gonna in 2 weeks from now. Stay tuned for that. I'm gonna make a 2-hour video on biblical system. I'm gonna talk about the biblical systems in the Bible, how it applies to my life. I think that's pretty cool. I won't make that a part of the Miscellaneous series. I'm gonna make a video on biblical symbolism. I'm gonna talk about the symbolism of me and my wife's life. You're looking at an amazing video for that. All right. As my wife, I'm continuing what I said here. As my wife got played and duped into selling, but I did not. Just like Eve got deceived, but Adam didn't get deceived. So this is symbols of that. Eve got deceived by the serpent, Satan. So Victoria Justice, when she sold out, the step families obviously offered her favor. We're going to make you famous. You're going to be a star. And yet they deceived her. She's not a fucking star. The doors are locked in there. She's a fucking porn star. Hence the mess. Yeah, she got deceived, man. Victoria Justice got played, man. But I didn't get played. Victoria Justice got duped, but I didn't get duped. Yeah, there you go. As my wife got played and duped into selling, but I did not. That's how reprobate both the stepfamilies are. As the moment me and my wife were born, and they decided to separate us and lock all the doors on me, that was the moment I washed my hands on them and I gave them over to the reprobate minds. All I have in America, I'm not kidding around. Like the moment I was born, the moment I was conceived, and the stepfamilies decided to lock the doors on me and separate me from my wife, protect her when act like I'm not even God, like the Antichrist spirit, obviously. Act like I'm not even God in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time my stepbrother told me, he's like, what? He's like, you're not God. He told me that right to my face. Like, you're not God. You know what I mean? Like you know I'm God, and you act like I'm not God because you have you have the Antichrist demonic spirit. Yeah. They hate me so much. The stepfamilies hate me so much. They're willing to even act like I'm not even God. Like they act like they don't acknowledge my existence. We know Ivan's God, but let's act like he's not God because they have the Antichrist spirit. Yeah, the Antichrist demonic spirit. Satan hates God. Yeah, Satan hates God. Yeah, there you go. As my wife got played and duped into selling, I did not. That's how reprobate both the stepfamilies are. As the moment me and my wife were born and they decided to separate us and lock all doors on me, that was the moment I washed my hands on them and gave them over to the reprobate minds, because they're fucking reprobate. I'm not kidding around. Like once the fact that you're worth close to $1 trillion, and have hundreds of billions in the bank, and you're willing to hide your wealth for 30 years and keep keep me poor. And the man and woman who fucking created the universe for you to breathe, you want to keep them poor for 30 years and not allow them to be billionaires. That's how I know the stepfamilies are reprobate. I wash my hands. I give them over to the reprobate minds. Wash my hands on them, man. No hope for them. Yeah. That was the moment. I washed my hands on them and gave them over to the reprobate minds. All Ivan Omer is going to do is finish his amazing fantasy novel, make the remaining videos until the final announcement, pay this fee, cry his eyes out, save his wife, and peace the fuck out forever. And you guys are still taking me for granted. Because as I've said before, the step families are worth close to $1 trillion and have hundreds of billions in the bank, and yet they are blind, just like Satan. Satan is in the Bible is known as the prince of the he's known as the ruler of the world. So Satan, even though God created the universe, Satan owns the financial system. So even though I created the universe, the step families they own the financial system in the world. Obviously, it's their kingdom to give. So in other words, when me and my wife were born, the step families had two choices. Either you hand over the kingdom to the rightful heirs, or you choose to betray them and you start a war, you cause war, and now what? And now in other words, the stuff. In other words, Satan instead of acknowledging who God was, he pride overshadowed him. I can take this guy, and then he started the war. Just like the Steph family started the war with me and my wife. Obviously, when you and my wife came here, they were supposed to hand over the kingdom to us, let us do our thing, but they decided to lock the doors on us and cause a war. And now, because they caused a war, now they're cast off and they're left behind. God cast Satan out of heaven. The symbolism of God casting Satan out of heaven is Satan was no longer in God's presence. In other words, the stepfathers, had they let me and wife do our thing, they would have been in our presence. They would have been saved. Because they chose to what? Lock the doors on us and cause mess and protect us when and keep us poor, keep me and wife sabotaging poor. Me and my wife cast them out of our glory. Yeah, again, another symbolism in the Bible. Yeah, there's a lot of symbols you can get from the Bible, man. About the fall of Satan. Satan was once beautiful. I remember I saw pictures of my stepfamily. When they were younger, they were very beautiful. Yeah, they were the gatekeepers. They were gatekeepers. They're powerful and rich. And as soon as God came into the picture, greed, pride, envy filled them to the point whereby they wanted to even kill God. Yeah, Satan, the fall of Satan, yeah, the fall of Lucifer. How Lucifer became Satan. Yeah. And God cast Satan out of hell. Yeah, God cast Satan out of heaven. Sorry. A lot of symbols you can get from this, man. Right? Because as I said before, the step families are worth close to $1 trillion and have hundreds of billions in the bank, and yet they are blind and so reprobate they're willing to keep me poor for the rest of my life while they get to live their life with the billions that they're making. It's so sad that Ivan washed his hands on them, scratched them off. I scratched them off, as well as VJ. As VJ obviously washed her hands on her family, as they are obviously reprobate also. Yeah, there you go. Both of the families they're both reprobate, man. Fucking reprobate. Yeah. Because right now they are acting protect Zerwen, but once Ivan announces all his phases next year and makes that final announcement, the step families will no longer act, the world will no longer act, their true nature will finally show, and me and my wife will finally know how powerful and rich they really are. They're the gatekeepers. They're the rulers of the world, man. Just like Satan had a lot of power. Satan had a lot of power, but Satan's power is limited, obviously, whereas my power is unlimited because I have the keys, obviously. But Satan had a lot of power in heaven, and he thought he could overthrow the throne of God. Well, me and my wife, we came here with the keys, so we have unlimited power, obviously, because we have the keys. We don't need to advertise. The step families have a lot of power, and they thought they can overthrow the throne of God. Yeah, because they're reprobate, obviously, right? Because right now they're acting potentially one, but once Ivan announces all his faces next year and makes that final announcement, the stepfamilies will no longer act, the world will no longer act, the true nature will finally show, and me and my wife will finally know how powerful and rich they really are, which means for about 3 decades or 30 years, the stepfamilies hid their wealth from both me and my wife, as they are the gatekeepers of this world. They're the gatekeepers, man. Gatekeepers means like they're the bosses. They control the outtake and intake of all the finances around the world. I don't know how they control it, but they obviously have some control with the finances around the world. I don't know how they control it. Have you ever heard of the private bankers? The private bank, the powerful, the private bankers around the world. It's a symbolism of the stepfamilies. Obviously, they're the gatekeepers. They have their own private bank and everything. Yeah, they're fucking powerful. Yeah, right. Which means for about 3 decades, the stepfamilies hid their wealth from both me and my wife, as they are the gatekeepers of this world. That's how shocked me and my wife will be, and hence why VJ's running away with your husband after this, as she's running the fuck away with me, laugh aloud. VJ, after I pay this fee, Victoria Justice is running the fuck away with me. After she finds out how rich your family is, how rich my family is, Victoria Justice is running away with me, man. But even then, even though when I'm king and I'm a billionaire with my wife and I'm peacing out forever, even then I still wish, even though I know the stepfamilies are wicked and they're reprobate, I still wish them the best. I wish them the absolute best, man. I have no quarrel with them. I have no interest in revenge. All I'm gonna do is take my wife and live my life, and they're gonna be left behind, obviously. But even then, I still wish you guys the best, man, because I'm a good person, right? And now for a more interesting topic here, and the reason why stepfamily shoe cars will show is because they not only know because not only does Ivan Amur have the keys to the kingdom, which means he doesn't have to sell to them to open his own door. They know full well that Ivan O'Mara wrote the best fantasy novel ever, worth billions. I'm not kidding around here, Will. I told you, if you think Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Chronicles of Narnia and Brandon Sanderson's A Way of Kings, J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, C.S. Lewis' Chronicles of Narnia, Lord of the Rings, George R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, if you think those books are good, Last Hope for Xanax is a better book than all those books. I don't mean to be cocky. I'm just saying. I'm humbly saying, man. I'm being humble here. I'm saying this humbly. Last Hope for Xanax will be the best fantasy novel you ever read in your life. If you think these other fantasy novels are good, Last Hope for Xanax is a better book than all these books, man. You're looking at the best book ever written, man. Last Hope for Xanax is so good. It's such an amazing book that you can reread it like 40 times in your lifetime and not get tired of it. Because it's that good of a book. It's a book better than Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter is better than all those books, man. I know a lot of you guys are like, you have some guts and some of that. No. Once you read the book, you'll finally see what I mean. Like, you're gonna be like, oh my god, like this book is actually the best book I've written. Yeah. As I've said in my past videos to all the avid book critics and book nerds out there, if you think Lord of the Rings, written by J.R.R. Tolkien, who's considered the father of fantasy, Harry Potter, written by J.K. Rowling, The Chronicles of Narnia, written by C.S. Lewis, The Way of Kings, written by Brandon Sanderson, I'm telling you, world, if you think those fantasy books are good, wait until you read Last Hope for Xanax, as I will dare say is a better book than The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Way of Kings, and Chronicles of Narnia. I'm not kidding around. Like, I know it's gutsy for me to say something like this, but I'm telling you right now, I'm saying it live on camera. Last Hope for Xanax is a better book than Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Way of Kings, and Chronicles of Narnia. And I know you guys are you're crazy to say something like that. C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien and J.K. Rowling and Brian Sanderson, those guys are all the fathers of fantasy. Fathers and mothers of fantasy, right? Because J.K. Rowling's a woman. Right, they're the fathers and mothers of fantasy. And I'm like, no, yeah, I know they are. But Last Hope for Xanax is a better book than all those books. In other words, once the entire world reads Xanax, they're gonna be like, oh my god, Ivan is a new father of fantasy. I'm gonna become the new father of fantasy. That's how good Xanax is. Xanax is so good that I'm gonna become the new father of fantasy. Brandon Sanderson is considered like the modern Tolkien. I'm gonna once the world reads my book, I'm gonna be considered the modern. People are gonna call me the modern Tolkien. Yeah, Ivan O'Mara is the modern. Ivan's the modern Tolkien. Yeah, he wrote a book better than Lord of the Rings, a masterpiece better than Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter, and Way of Kings, and Chronicles of Narnia. Yeah, right. I do not mean to be cocky here, world. Why I'm telling you, once I release the 3 volumes on Lulu, Xanus is a book that will garner twice the buzz of Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings when it came out in the 50s, when it was released in the 50s, as well as Chronicles of Narnia, and The Way of Kings when it was released a few years ago. So if you think Way of Kings, J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter book when it first came out in the dawn of the 21st century, if you think Lord of the Rings had crazy buzz when it came out in the 50s, to those of you who are old, you know what I'm talking about. You were alive to see it. You were alive to witness it. And the Chronicles of Narnia, right? When the Chronicles of Narnia was released in the 40s and 50s, Zayish, you're looking at something twice, like 2 to 3 times the buzz of all those books. You're looking at something twice the buzz of Harry Potter. That's how crazy of a buzz you're looking at for Xanus. Not only because I am the son of God, obviously, but mainly because it is literally the best fantasy novel ever written. I'm not kidding around here. If I wasn't the son of God and I wrote this book would be the next right part. That's how good Xanus is. Xanus is such an amazing book that if someone else wrote this book who wasn't the son of God, you're looking at a book twice the buzz of Harry Potter. It would be the next Harry Potter, and it would be the next modern Lord of the Rings. The author who wrote it would be crowned the modern Tolkien. Once you read Xanus, Ivan O'Mara will be crowned the modern Tolkien. That's how good Xanus is. Ivan O'Mara will be crowned the modern Tolkien. Yeah. Right. Not only because am I the son of God, obviously, but mainly because it is literally the best fantasy novel ever written. I'm not kidding around here. Once you read the first volume, you'll be hooked. You will binge the entire volume, volume 1, take your break, binge the second volume, take your break, and binge the third volume even more. That's like Xanus is. Right? And I guarantee you, all those book nerds out there, like on Fantasy Reddit. By the way, Fantasy Reddit has over 1 million subscribers now. I remember when I gave a shout out, they had 580,000 followers. Now they have 1 million subscribers. That's how powerful I am, man. Yeah, you're welcome. Again, to all those people out there, to all those aspiring authors, sign up, subscribe to Fantasy Reddit. That way you can promote your book there. There's a big audience there, right? Anyways, going back to the topic. And I guarantee you, all those book nerds out there, like people subscribe to Fantasy Reddit, you guys will order some takeout while you're reading the book. That's how interesting Xanus is. It's the type of book whereby you will order food while reading. I'm not kidding around. Xanus is such an amazing book that once you read the book, you're going to be like, oh my god, this is exciting. I want to order some takeout. I guarantee you a lot of the book nerds on Fantasy Reddit, when they buy the ebook or the print, when they read the book, oh my god, this is fucking interesting. They're going to order takeout and read the book. Yeah, because the book is so good. The book is so good that it's the type of book you can order takeout while reading it. Because it's an exciting book to read. Yeah. That's how good Xanus is. Xanus is such an amazing book, man. It's an amazing book, man. Best price ever written. And to add to that, Last Hope for Xanus is a book you can go back and read over and over again. That's how good it really is. As most books, once you read it the first time, you won't pick it up again. For example, I bought the Lord of the Rings series. I have the series here. I'm about 113 pages into Fellowship of the Ring. Fellowship of the Ring is an amazing book, but it's not a book I'm going to go back and reread. It's not a book I can pick up and read again. Like, you could reread it again, but Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers and Return of the King, they're not books I can go back and reread over and over again. Whereas Xanus is the kind of book you can go back and reread over and over again because it's such an amazing book. The characters jump out on the page. Because I know how to keep you hooked. I have the gift. I have the creative gift. Right? Right? Even my wife, when she buys a book, by the time I see her in Los Angeles, she would have already read it. She would be like, Ivan, you fucking wrote this? In other words, once I pay the fee and I come back from death and I release the book, Victoria Justice will obviously buy the book. A lot of people will buy the ebook. Victoria Justice will obviously buy the ebook or print. Once I say my final 4-day goodbyes and meet her in Los Angeles, Victoria Justice will be like, she would have already read the book, obviously. She'll be like, Ivan, you fucking wrote this? I'm going to be like, yeah, I fucking wrote this. And she'll be like, oh my gosh, like, this is the best book ever written. In other words, Victoria Justice, once she reads my book, she's going to be shocked, like, Ivan, you fucking wrote this? I'm like, yeah, I fucking wrote this, man. Oh my god, like, this is the best book ever written. This is such a unique story, yeah. Best book ever written, man. In other words, Last Hope for Xanax is so good that even university professors who teach creative writing, so there's university professors who teach creative writing, book critics, all the top book critics around the world, popular authors like Brandon Sanderson, George R. R. Martin, and J.K. Rowling, even they will be inspired by my book. Like, man, Ivan wrote a masterpiece better than Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Way of Kings, and Game of Thrones. That's how good Xanax is. And all the powerful CEOs and execs in Hollywood, even they will be blown away by the plot. Like, man, if this were turned into a movie, you're looking at the best movie ever made. Yes, even better than Star Wars, Avengers, Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter. That's how good Xanax is. In other words, Star Wars, the originals, were fucking amazing. Lord of the Rings was fucking amazing, the movie. Harry Potter was fucking amazing. Avengers was fucking amazing. And yet Last of Us is a better book. If adapted, you're looking at a better movie than all those movies. That's how good Xanax is. Yeah, man. I know you guys, you have some serious guts to say something like that. No. Once you read the book, you'll see what I mean. Last of Us is a better book than all those fantasy novels I just mentioned, like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia. Better than all those books. Way of Kings, better than all those books. And if adapted, you're looking at a better movie than Avengers, Star Wars. When I mean Star Wars, I mean like the original Star Wars. You're looking at a better movie than the original Star Wars movies, right? A better movie than the sequel trilogies that just got released of Star Wars. A better movie than Lord of the Rings, and a better movie than Avengers and all the Avenger movies. Yeah, that's how good Xanax is. Because I guarantee you, a lot of book nerds and movie nerds think I'm gutsy saying this. But once they read the book, they will finally see what I mean. Like, yeah, this is the best book ever written. And if adapted, you're looking at the best movie ever made. There's a good chance this video might be a good like 6 parts. So I might make a video, upload it, and I'm gonna have to go back and record the remaining video. I'll go back and record the remaining video. This is a long fucking video. I won't have enough camera space to record everything. I'm gonna have to upload it and continue it. I might finish it, maybe. We'll see how it goes here. Right? And hence why the Powerful Set Family's true nature will finally come out, because I know how good Xanax is, and that it is a book worth billions. Yeah, there you go. And once their true nature shows, they know full well as you world, that Ivan O'Mara, once he pays his fee, cries his eyes out, and suffers death, him and Vijay will be piecing the fuck out, and the whole world will be left behind once both Ivan and Vijay are now king and queen. So much you guys will cry tears as you're looking at international fame for the book sales, and even crazier fame for the movie, and hence why I'll continue to say this, those Hollywood actors chosen are fucking lucky, as they get to partake in the glory with Ivan and Vijay, and the wealth, as I'll be paying them a shitload of money that Hollywood will not pay, fame all around the world, and most importantly, they'll be saved. That's how lucky they are. Those actors are going to be saved. They're going to get to experience the international fame, meanwhile, something worldwide. I'm going to pay them a shitload of money that Hollywood would never pay. Hollywood will never pay a B.S. actor $4 million. No fucking way, man. I'm paying them all a shitload of money, and they're going to be saved, man. They're going to know what it's like to experience the international glory with Ivan and Vijay. In other words, that very glory that you would have experienced had you not separated my wife. You guys are stupid. That's the glory that those actors are going to witness. Yeah, they're going to be saved, right? The man will be fighting alongside God in the flesh against devils on the big screen, and the woman will be experiencing the horror alongside a goddess in the flesh, which is my wife. Again, let me show you that picture to get an idea of how scary Airtan and the wolves are, as well as the bats. Let me show you that Pennywise the Clown picture. See that? Imagine a demon wolf 3 times scarier than that. You're looking at something fucking scary, man. See that? That's how scary Airtat is, man. You're looking at the devil himself, man. And those actors are gonna get to experience that horror. Alongside God in the flesh. Yep. Right? Turn my camera off here.